All right, so I got all my parts ordered for the steering. Um, Looking forward to getting that stuff. It's basically going to be a complete overhaul, um, but that's going to have to wait. So in the meantime, I think I'm going to address the parking brake situation. Um, I can push the pedal all the way down to the floor and it just barely grabs. So hopefully that means the cable's good and I just need to adjust it and hopefully it'll be easy. Fingers crossed. Well, maybe that's part of the problem. You think? I don't know if you can tell, but there's a thick layer of probably spray paint over the threads on this adjustment screw. So I'm gonna have to get a dye and clean that paint off because it's got to go pretty far to make up all that slack. So, look at all the gunk coming out of those threads. It's doing a good job. So this is the passenger side. I've been trying to figure out why the parking brake isn't working on this wheel and why the pads are in better shape on this side. And I finally realized this guy is supposed to be hooked in here. But essentially there's been no brakes on this wheel for some period of time. That's not good. So, all right, more work to do. All right, rear brakes are buttoned up. Got my parking brake cable nice and tight. And it works on the passenger side now. But both rear brakes are gonna need to be replaced before I go on any big road trips. So add that to a future list. But for right now, it's a big improvement. And the parking brake pedal, nice and firm. I even adjusted the handle so it's not loose. All right, so you can check that off the list for now. All right, so I finally got all of my interior pieces in that I ordered. This will be my fuse panel cover, which is in perfect condition because I don't have one now, it's missing. I got my two front door armrests that are brand new, old stock, never been used. And this is the old one just for comparison. It's super beat up. So that'll look nice. And I got my front speaker grills. I got the gray ones because, for a couple of reasons, the gray was $20 cheaper than any of the other ones for some reason. And that's gonna be under that black carpet cover anyway. Plus I could paint them if I want to. But also, this has all of the clips for mounting it to the dash. And all the other ones I saw were missing the clips. So that'll be good. I just want something to protect my new speakers. And these are my visors. They look great. They're used, but they're in great shape. And just one issue with these, the little elastic thingy there is all loose and dangly. So what I did was, on this one, I took up the slack and folded it over and then just sewed it down to the underside of the visor so it doesn't hang. And I'm probably not going to be using these much anyway, but I'll do the same with this one. Just take the slack, and it's hard to do with one hand. Fold it over and sew it down, and that'll make it look nice. So interior's coming along. I've got all the door panels out. gonna work on them one at a time, fix everything that needs to be fixed and clean them up. They're pretty nasty. Get the speakers mounted, and then we can start putting everything back together. Here's a quick shot of the old sun visors versus the new ones. Hey guys, so it's late at night. I'm in the garage and decided to experiment with cleaning these door panels. And I use Dawn dish soap to wash my hands after I'm working on my car, and it works great, like the concentrated Dawn. And I was like, I wonder how that would work on upholstery and on these door handles. So I took just like 1 squirt of Dawn in a squirt bottle, filled it with water, and look how this came out. The handle alone, it's like night and day. And then I just used this scrub brush on it, a clean brush, and then the same on the upholstery. Squirted it down, scrub brushed it until it foamed up, and then I just wiped it down with some clean blue shop towels, and I just can't believe how clean it came out. There's all kinds of dirt in the wet towel. I only did the top. I haven't done the bottom yet, but this is amazing. This is giving me a lot of hope. I was a little worried how this interior was going to look, but if it all comes out like this, I'm going to be very happy. All right, so if you remember, my rear passenger door was missing the armrest, and I couldn't find any on eBay anywhere. So I ordered 2 new front armrests, and I'm going to take this front armrest and move it to the rear door because it's kind of old and beat up. And this rear armrest is original. And I just cleaned this one with Dawn dish soap, and it came out amazing. So hopefully this one will look as good after I clean it. And they are nearly, this is a front and this is a rear, so trying to see if I can make it work, and they're nearly identical. The only difference I can really see that matters is this piece here, which will be really easy to trim off with a Dremel. So I'll trim that off, and everything else is nearly identical. I mean, close enough that it's not going to make a difference. So hopefully this one cleans up nice like this one, and then I can make it work on the rear door, and I'll have 4 armrests. So I think that looks pretty good. Got the armrest on this door. I just had to trim out some room in the cardboard there to get it to sit flat. But it looks nice. Only minor thing is this little corner right here. But I think once I get everything mounted, it's going to be barely noticeable. So I'm happy with that. We'll just get this upholstery cleaned up, and we can start putting everything back together. All right, the rear passenger door panel is shampooed and the armrest is mounted. It didn't come quite as clean as the other one, but this one's been used a lot more. It was on the front door, so it definitely looks better than it did though. And all I did was drill some holes. I put a screw here, and then 1 here, and then 2 over here. And it's nice and solid. And it looks pretty good. Way better than it did before, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to keep an eye out. Maybe someday a rear passenger armrest will come up on eBay, but in the meantime, this will do just fine. Hey guys, so after thinking about it a bit, I think I'm going to follow the recommended instructions and mount this tweeter on the door panel. Just from what I read, that's where you're going to get the best audio. So working on that. And what I'm going to do is I drilled a hole here so the wires will come through and then go down through this hole into this section. I'll just have to figure out a way to mount the crossover. I don't know if I'll do Velcro or something. I'll figure that out. That should be easy. But what I was really worried about is having the back of this tweeter kind of exposed, even with the wires going through there. This area is open where you can kind of, it's like a shelf, you can put stuff in the door. So I didn't want to have this just open like that. And I do want to mount it flush. So it comes with these caps that you would use if you're going to surface mount it. So the cap would just go on the back and it would mount on the surface. But I want to flush mount it. But this actually goes in, you know, it's designed to cover this. So like, how could I use that on the back? Because the wires are supposed to come through this hole out the back anyway. So even if I had this on the back, you would have the wires coming through. So what I decided to do was drill a hole in the side here. So when I cover it up, I can just feed the wires through this hole and then this hole. And once it's on there, you won't see any wires. And you'll have a little bit of protection here, just enough in case, you know, you get rain coming through the window or something. And it definitely won't look obvious at all when it's on the door. This is pretty much all you'll see. So I'm gonna work with that. And let me run the wires here and I'll show you what it looks like. So that's the wires run through everything into the hole down there. And that's basically what it would look like. Obviously, the tweeter would be on this side, so it would be more shallow. But I think that'll work great. And then we have these brackets that we're supposed to use to mount it from the back. But then I realized, since I'm using this housing, that's basically my back plate. I'm not going to need this bracket. I can just put a black washer on here and the nut, and that'll hold it on. So next step is to cut a hole in the front, and there's no turning back after that. So I think it's going to look great though. Wish me luck. There we go. And there's the finished product. Looks really nice. Nice and shallow. No wires. Looks protected. Hopefully it sounds as good as it looks. So I was just test fitting this speaker panel onto the door panel, and I noticed the difference here. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the carpet on the door panel has been shampooed and the carpet on the speaker panel is not. And wow, you could really see a difference. So I guess it worked. That Dawn dish soap did a great job. So I'll have to do the speaker panels too. All right, day one of our steering overhaul. Tie rods. This one shouldn't be too bad. Famous last words. And here's the old versus the new. And I'm looking at this guy. We've got a nice bend in that inner tie rod. So it's a good thing that's coming out. Gotta say, that's pretty satisfying to see new shocks and new tie rods in there. On to the next. All right, new tie rods are in. I did an eyeball alignment. The driver's side was really towed out, and I'll definitely take it and get it aligned professionally, but this is a big improvement. And I don't know if I had mentioned, but my steering wheel was cocked about 25 degrees to the left when I was driving straight. And now I got the steering wheel straight. So getting there, getting a lot better. I still got a lot of slop in the steering, but hopefully all the arms and the gearbox and the pump will take care of that. So still waiting on that stuff, so we'll get to other things. So all my new LED bulbs came in, and what's cool about these is they actually come in this glass housing just like the original bulbs, just with the LED inside, instead of these big funky ones that sometimes don't fit where you need to put them. So thought that was really cool. Let's see how they work. Side marker. Side marker. License plate lights. Courtesy lights. Dome lights. Gauge lights. All right, I think that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.